My name is Sunny Strur, and I'm a professional endurance athlete. Uinta Crusher route is this very obscure marathon-length loop in the Uinta Mountains above Salt Lake City that links together 6 12,000-foot peaks, and it's mostly off-trail ridge scrambling with a couple of small sections of trail in between. I tried to do the route in 2020 and I bailed after only about 10 miles because it got to a point where you had to get off the ridge, scramble down this really sketchy gully, traverse out on the face, and then come up another equally sketchy looking gully. And I decided that that was too dangerous and just not worth it. I run because I love it, and I run because I want to push myself in a safe manner, and what I was having to do there was not safe. So I bailed, but the idea of the route just did not let me go. So I went back to it in 2022, and just the decision to go back onto the route was a really big deal for me, actually.
I woke up at like 6 this morning and I had these 5 minutes of like, there's no way, I'm not doing this, this is stupid.
But just because something is hard, just because something is scary, doesn't mean that you shouldn't try it. This is less straightforward and more involved than I hoped. Now, what's also really important is to know that just because you decide to try it, well, then it doesn't mean that you have to stick to your guns and that you don't have the option of calling something off when it becomes too hard or too risky or too involved. Figuring out that mental nuance allows me to try bigger and harder projects, because the very first step is not saying, I'm going to do this, come hell or high water. No, the first step is to say, I am going to try to do this. I'll go out there, I'll see what I find, I'll give it my best, and I will keep going and I will keep pushing until I come to a point where I do not see a path forward. Just because you're trying something and just because you may have committed to it mentally, that doesn't mean that you don't have permission to turn around. Giving yourself permission to turn around is actually one of the keys to being able to do things that are way harder than what you thought you might be capable of.